Welcome to Lights, Camera, Cash, the podcast where creativity meets cash flow. I'm your host, Nicole Sellers, and I'm here to help you unleash the superstar within and turn your creativity and charisma into a money-making machine. Today, I am sitting down with YouTube creator Kevin Kolbe. He also happens to be a best-selling author of the new book, Live Streaming Made Easy. Kevin's going to be sharing all of his tips and strategies on how to have several streams of income from home as long as you have an internet connection and a camera. Welcome, Kevin. How you doing today?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm so glad to see you. And you have a new book out. I'm so excited to
Yeah.
talk about that. That's something that's really exciting. That
Yeah.
all about live streaming. Talk a little bit about the book because we're going to get back to the book later, like details. But tell me how that all came about.
So I have this thing I call a do list. I don't call it a to-do list because I think, well, I'll be smarter. If I just make it a do list, I'll do these things on the list. And write a book is one of those things I've just wanted to do for a long time. And, it's going to be one of those things I'll do and I'll do and I'll do. And so recently, I don't know. I felt kind of the call to write something. This was not the book I really thought I would be writing, but when I started like diving into it, and I probably did it a little unorthodoxy, and which is fine. And it just, I thought, I think I'm going to make this happen. And then I just kind of plowed into it, and it. I told my wife the other day, I said, somebody could call me up and say, okay, in 5 minutes, I need you to go live, talk for an hour about video, and I'd be fine. That is less stressful than I think than trying to write a book.
A book, it just sounds stressful because of the
Mhm.
process of it. And then you put those parameters on yourself of getting it
Yeah.
done at a certain time. And I believe you were self-published, and we're going to dive into
Yep.
that toward the
Yep.
end because I really want to dive into the book. But tell our audience about how you got into live streaming and what was really the story behind getting into something that gave you so much freedom and flexibility.
Well, my background is really television. I started in radio. I was in radio for several years. Actually, still my first love. And then I got into television, and I was in TV. Goodness, over 30 years. So the irony is, I was into live streaming when we called it broadcasting because, I worked for stations and we
Yeah.
were going live all the time. And then typically my life in TV was in the creative services realm, which is promotion and production and things like that. But we would do live events. I was a executive producer of 3 seasons of a show that was kind of like American Idol, and we had a huge 2-hour live finale every year with live music and audience, and that'll get you a little gray there. So I've been around video from produced to live streaming for as long as I remember. So then when you transition more into the online world, it's just like, oh, okay, you just go live. And I think even my background in radio of just turning a mic on and talking, which I probably got from my mom, being able to talk to anybody about anything, even if they didn't listen. you know, it's always been one of those things where it's never been intimidating to me just to go live. Sometimes I've gone live when I just wanted to hop on. I haven't been live in a while. And then sometimes it's like, no, I've got something specific or a guest I'm going to talk to. So
Mhm.
it's just kind of part of my ethos. Is that what I want to say
Yeah.
about, just the creator journey is something I've done.
Yeah, the radio background I find is so incredible. Whenever I speak to people who were in radio first,
Mm,
they're the best live streamers because they're used to just talking for hours and hours and hours without a break, without pausing,
yeah.
without the transition, stress of transitioning. Talk to me about for those who want to get started with live streaming, they don't really have a background in radio or maybe even
Right.
TV. Is it something that they can jump into and become successful at? And if so, how?
Yes. Now, so I always say I think you as a person have to define success for you. I think a lot of times people define success by a lot of money, and if that's how you define it, that's fine. Success can be freedom. Success can be just like, as my friend Sean Cannell says, just hit record. I mean, just doing something. So you have to decide that. I think the best way to do it is, I mean, if you got a phone, everybody has a smartphone almost these days. You've already got a camera and a microphone and internet access and graphics. And I would start with that. I would start with what you have. And typically, I tell folks, if they say, well, I don't know what to say on my first live stream, it's like, well, make that your first live stream. Because the
Yes,
reality
what
of
a
it
good
is,
idea.
well,
Yeah, I
here's
think
the
that's
thing.
the biggest stress of it
Yeah.
all is
Yeah.
what do I say? What do I talk about?
Yeah.
And a lot of times I think of what's something that people ask me all the time,
Yes.
or what is something that people will come to me for as an expert, or just advice, even not even as
Yeah.
an expert. But I love that idea of let your first live stream just be you not knowing what to say. So hitting that
Yeah.
record button and talking
Yeah.
about the experience of it all.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the reality of it is, unless you're some mega famous celebrity business person or something like that, we all start from zero and we grow. And so the chances of people seeing our early videos are slim. So we're given a little bit more grace, but I also think it's about being yourself. And I think that's the other thing I like about live is that, if you're live, it's live.
Oh
Now
yeah.
you can go back and edit it later,
Mhm.
but whatever happened, happened. I mean, right before we started recording, there was traffic in the background. Well,
The
if we're
garbage
live,
truck
that happened.
passing by.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sometimes it makes people chuckle a little bit and relate to you and say that happens to me all the time,
Oh yeah.
especially
Yeah.
for actors who are
Yep.
self-taping or TV hosts who are
Yeah.
self-taping their auditions. 9 out of 10 times the landscapers will come right at that moment where
Yeah.
you're like just getting into it and you
Yeah.
start recording and then there's all this background noise. But I love the idea of keeping it real and talking through all of the things that happen live.
Oh
And
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, and you
that
and
helps
you
me.
mentioned, like, the questions that people ask you. That's a great point. I don't care what profession you're in. You're in real estate, there's a series of questions people ask you all the time. They may even be on your website under your FAQs, right? I find that Facebook groups are like the new Google because people like they ask questions in there. I don't know if they're afraid that they don't know or they don't know where to look or they're just lazy and they want somebody to tell them. And some of my better performing videos have come out of direct questions in Facebook groups that I'm like, well, if somebody's asking that, let me do a video about it. And guess what? Other people were asking too.
That's genius. And that's so easy because so many of us are in all of these groups with like
Yeah.
minded professionals. So
Mhm.
just kind of scroll through, see what people are asking, what questions get the most comments and
Yeah.
engagement. That's
Yeah.
such a great idea. That's a
Cool.
really, really great idea. For you personally, though, what are the videos that you found to be the most successful in the sense of more clicks, more views, more subscribers?
So, my biggest video to date was a simple one about how to get Final Cut Pro for free.
Hmm.
I edit and I got on Final Cut years ago and love it and absolutely love it. And I saw that they had changed it to like you could use it for 90 days free. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And I noticed that people were asking about Final Cut. And so I thought, well, let me just do a video about how to get it for free and explained it. And still to this day is my biggest video. Other than that, there's other ones that I mean, Nicole, I'd love to sit here and say every video that I have that's gone bigger, I've planned out. There's no way. I mean, I've done videos that I'm like, this is the one,
Yeah.
and it's just like, and then I've done other videos that I've overproduced, and they haven't done some, and then I've done other ones where I've just gone, I'm like, I've got an idea, I'm just going to run with it, and those are the ones that do well. I've
That's
got
so
one I just did
interesting,
on an
isn't it,
AI
though?
tool that
Isn't that so cool?
yeah has taken off. So I I do think it's still exploring what people are interested in, but yet being careful that I still do things that I want to talk about and do. I just did a video on my book, and a friend of mine said, "Why'd you do that?" And I said, "I wanted to share the experience." That's it. I mean, there was no ulterior motive. Ulterior motive. I just
Yeah.
wanted to share the experience. That was it.
And you can join a lot of those groups, the self-publisher groups where they're all going through the same experience
Oh
and
yeah,
maybe they want to know what it was like for you or maybe ask
yeah,
you a question from concept to creation. How did it all go down? And
yes,
now you've just built a whole new audience just based on your experience. I did something similar where fear held me back a little bit from creating a video on it, but like starting my own business. I would get that question all the time from a lot of my TV host friends. How did you start your own business? How did you start coaching? How did you build TV Hosting Academy as an online kind of
mm,
course library, kind of like a masterclass type situation? And I kept thinking to myself, either I could stay the course of like just talking about being on camera and confidence, or I can branch out and talk about how I built my business. So that's
yeah.
kind of a really cool aspect of what I like to talk about because it's what I do every day. So I love what that you said. Don't always stick with what's shiny and new. Stick with
Yeah.
things that you really enjoy talking about because that's what people resonate with.
Yeah, yeah, and understand too, especially, I mean, YouTube is my core platform, but you can hop on a trend and there's nothing wrong with that, but trends come and go,
Mhm.
and hot topics today aren't necessarily hot topics a week from now. So you have to kind of go in with that realization, and also you may do a video or a live stream or whatever it is on a topic that has a smaller audience, but that's okay too.
Yeah. And now our audience really wants to know, how do you make money with live streaming or YouTube? Because that is like the biggest question that I always get. And I'm not making money yet on live streaming or YouTube. So that is where you come in. Have you kind of discovered what makes the most sense? What kind of makes the most money? And is it sponsors? Is it clicks? What is it? What's the secret sauce? Like what you're hearing so far? Then you're going to love all the content and support inside TV Hosting Academy's Green Room membership. Member perks include small group coaching with me, Nicole Sellers, access to industry insiders who share all the secrets to on-camera success, and a monthly think tank session with a tribe of like-minded creatives. Check out all the details in the show notes. See you inside the green room.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different ways. The one advice I'll give anybody starting out is don't rely on just one stream of income. So like for example on YouTube, and they've lowered the requirements. I forgot exactly what it is now, but you can at a certain point of subscribers and views, you can be part of the YouTube Partner Program. And why that is cool is because then you get a cut of ads on your channel. And even if somebody has YouTube Premium, like I have YouTube Premium now, so I don't see ads, I can still get a cut of that as well. It's not like an affiliate program. So depending on how many views you have, that AdSense revenue you may hear people talk about can come and go. And and it's seasonal too as well. So that is, I think a lot of folks just think, well, I'll just get on there, I'll make a lot of videos, and I'll get a lot of views, and the ad dollars will come rolling in. Well, I mean, they can, but they can be fickle. It's just like advertising, anywhere. Affiliate marketing, which is where you can reach out to companies that have affiliate programs and join their affiliate program and then share a link. And if somebody uses that link, you may make some money. I always recommend only doing that for products that you have used or of, because it's easy to go, oh, this one's got a program, this one's got a program, this one's got a program, and then I think you get into a trust factor. I can talk about Ecamm and StreamYard and other ones because I use
Right.
those. I can't talk about other ones because I haven't used them, and I get approached, and I'm like, well, but I need to play with it first to see if I even like it before I start, exposing it to my audience or community. Sponsorships, that is another way of doing it. is having a sponsor, not even just on a live stream, but on your videos and things like that. And that's a great way of doing that. Brand deals where you're actually approached to create like a video around something, and it's kind of like you become the agency for that brand or that product or whatever it is. um, Write a book, create a course, do memberships, sell coaching and consulting. So there's so many different ways. I think the mistake people can make is if they start a YouTube channel just to sell something.
Yeah.
Not to say that can't be a goal, and not to say making money is bad, but is people aren't coming to your channel to buy something. They're probably coming to either be entertained or learn something. And over time, you can mention something in there. I will put a link to my book and my videos. I'll put a link to the gear I use. But if I'm only up there every time selling something and they don't know me,
Mhm.
I need to help people too. So you kind of have to balance that.
Yeah, I love that you brought up all of those streams of income because that makes so much sense. People are coming to your YouTube channel to learn something, to be entertained, to get to know you. You're building the trust factor.
Yeah.
I always look at it as people are getting to know me. So if I have something that they are interested in investing in, now they know who I am. They
Yeah.
kind of get my style, my vibe, my teaching style. So I totally agree. You can't depend on one stream, especially with live streaming or YouTube. It's
Yeah.
a lot of different things. So
Yeah.
you've done it all. You've done the book, the live streaming, the affiliate links, which I think is so smart, the sponsorships. When you go after sponsors, this is something that's kind of a little bit of a mystery. When you do approach sponsors, are you showcasing yourself in any type of media kit or portfolio or kind of giving three-tiered sponsorship packages? What's kind of your approach to getting sponsors?
That's a great I think I've done all of that at some point.
Mhm.
I do have a media kit that I found that no one has asked for, and it's a pain in the butt to keep up with and things like that. And then you get into the comparison game going, "Well, mine's not as good as Nicole, so I don't want to send this to anybody." So, there's that. A buddy of mine with the book now said the other day, said, you need to be approaching people and say, "Hey, I've got this book. It is a bestseller. Here's what I can do, and here's how I'm available." And I'm like, well, that's interesting. I could build that out on my website. And so if I'm approaching somebody, I can send them to my website, which then has other, benefits as well of things I've done and ways to contact, and it has affiliate links. But I think a lot of times I've just reached out. I mean, I've been very blessed that I've had companies reach out to me. How they find me, I don't know. Probably through YouTube or friends or
Through
networking,
YouTube,
which is huge, or YouTube.
Google.
And so we'll work together on some things. And sometimes it's been long term, sometimes it's been a one-off deal. But then I also as well will reach out to companies and just say, hey, look, I love your brand, I love your stuff. I do this channel, or I have this and stuff like that. I'm just wondering if there's an opportunity we could work together. You probably get more no's or nothing from that, but I've always lived under this. It never hurts to ask at
Yep,
all. The
totally
worst they
agree.
can say is no.
Yeah, it's that just happened to me recently. This was before I launched the podcast. I had reached out to a really big app, and the only reason I had reached out was because this app was brought up in one of the episodes. So I said,
Mm,
I'm just going to ask, like, what's the worst that can happen? They could say no. They said our marketing budget is full at the moment, but we'd love to promote you. And I was like, oh, okay.
that's huge.
So I mean, that's a big deal. That's free advertising on a huge platform with like millions of subscribers on their end. So that was free publicity for me. Excuse me. So had I not even just asked, that would have never
Yeah,
happened. So you
yeah,
have to just kind of go in with the what's the worst that can happen? Let me just put it out there and see if it works. And also bringing to light what your program or video does for them. So I
yeah,
think it's important to mention those things as well. Like, why should they consider sponsoring you?
yeah, yeah.
Having that as
And
well.
I think you've also got to think about the brand or the product or whoever you're talking about. Is that again, unless you're really known, and most of us aren't in that category, right? I mean, if we're being honest, people know us, our families know us, but the outside world, that they probably get pitched a lot.
Mhm.
And I'm sure a lot of people just go, "Hey, look, I do this really cool thing. You want to sponsor it, right?" I'm sorry, and you are?
Yeah.
So I think if, go in and tell them why they're cool. Point out something. Just don't
Mhm.
even hit them up the first time. Just go, "Hey, look, I use your mic all the time. I just want to let you know I think it's got to be my favorite mic ever. So, let me know if you ever have any new mics coming out or something like that."
Mhm.
Oh, wow, here's a guy that didn't ask for anything.
Right. Yeah. And I love what you said about the affiliate marketing links as well. So that's something that I think a lot of our viewers and our listeners aren't super comfortable with or understand too much about. So affiliate links. So can you use one example? Maybe it's an affiliate that you work with consistently. Maybe it's Ecamm or another product. Can you explain how the affiliate marketing piece works?
Yeah, and so here's the easiest thing to do. So let's say somebody uses an X brand, or we'll just use Ecamm, right? Go to Google, and whatever brand you are interested in that you use a lot, and it can be a brand like Target, it could be clothing like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, I shop at Walmart, but you know where I'm going with, like Brooks shoes or something,
Right.
and type in the name of that, and then type in affiliate marketing, affiliate program, and you'll be surprised what comes up, because a lot of these companies have affiliate programs, but they don't necessarily talk about it that much. Sometimes it'll be down in the footer, the bottom of their website. You'll see, like, partner with us or things like that. Oh, click on it. Some have ambassador programs, some have affiliate links, affiliate programs. What I have found is a lot of companies will happily welcome you into their affiliate program, even if you don't have an account with them, because in a way it's free publicity.
Mhm.
So like Canva. So I have an affiliate with Canva. I use Canva all the time. So I joined their affiliate program. I found out they had, I applied, and now I have an affiliate link. So what happens is when you join an affiliate program, you'll get a special link that has a code in there. And so let's say we'll just use Canva, for example. We're talking about that. If I put Canva, like I used Canva for my thumbnail for this video or whatever, and that link is there. That's my affiliate link. So let's say you click on that link, you go to Canva and you're like, "Ooh, I kind of like this program," and you sign up and you pay anything, then I'm going to get a percentage of that. It never will cost you anything. Amazon
Mhm.
works the same way. Like I usually will put, like, the gear I use for a video. So if you click on, see what camera is Kevin using, it's going to take you to Amazon,
Mhm.
and then as long as you do anything within 24 hours of checking out that link, I'll get some credit for it, potentially.
Mhm.
And again, it will never ever cost you anything. So that's the other advantage to affiliates. And that's also why I only really promote the things I use and talk about and like I love Ecamm, I love StreamYard. It's easy for me to share those links.
Mhm.
And they both have benefits. There are other programs out there, but it's really that simple. Now, some affiliate programs have a certain time limit, and if you don't generate clicks and sales,
Mhm.
they'll boot you. Other programs, there's a huge company about a year ago that really kind of screwed over the creators. They just decided with a 2-week notice they were ending the affiliate program, and all affiliates had to change their links.
Mm.
And it really left a sour taste in my mouth and a lot of creators. But that can happen. That
Mhm.
can happen. Programs, companies can say, we're changing the terms, we're ending it, or sometimes they say, we're going to make it a little better.
Mhm.
So, but it's affiliate marketing it is a way to earn ongoing income that can vary. I don't believe you can be in too many programs at all. I look, here's my magic formula. You ready? I keep a Google spreadsheet
Mhm.
or Google Sheets, whatever they call it, and I have a list of every affiliate that I'm affiliated with and my affiliate link. So,
Yes.
like, if you guys are watching this, Nicole says, "Hey, Kevin, do you use a screen recorder? I do. And so I can go to the one I use and I can send her the link. But then
Yeah.
I've also can use that into other programs or other videos or share it email or something like that. So it's just easier for me to keep up with.
So smart, and always the products that you use. So, and
Yeah.
we had talked about this before because I have purchased so many products through your links
Thank you.
because you've
Thank you.
recommended so many things like the microphone and the switcher, all of it. So I firsthand know that that works out just
Very
fine.
nice mic too. Let me
It
say.
is a nice mic. It looks good too, right? Yeah.
It
Uh,
does. It looks
and
great.
also, bringing it back to courses as well. That is another great stream of income. You
Yep.
actually did a course for us at TV Hosting Academy, and it was all about YouTube for
Yeah.
beginners. Briefly describe just a few of those things that you went through because it fits so nicely with what we're talking about now is getting started with YouTube, understanding the tools and how to be efficient, how to grow quicker than just doing it on your own and trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you touch on in that course? And it's a pretty
Well,
bite-sized course too, which is great. It's pretty quick.
yeah, and thank you. And I when I did the course, and I appreciate you approaching me because you actually were the catalyst in kicking me in the butt to do a course that was on my do list too. One of those things I was going to do one day. And I thought, there's a lot of things out there about how to grow on YouTube, and they're good, and then some of them aren't. And but I didn't think there was a lot that. Well, how do you even get started? What do you do? And so I didn't want to do a long, like 3 4 hour course. It's going to take a week. I think the course is a little over 30 minutes. Technically, I think you could take the course and start a YouTube channel that day if you wanted to. But I kind of walk you through everything from, like, what do you call it? How do you even get started? How do you even upload a video? Those type things that I think once you've done it for a while, you take for granted. You know, what do you do after you've uploaded the video? I just had somebody ask me just today that they had a friend who started a YouTube channel. They have videos and none of them are showing up.
Oh,
Well, okay, I know what they need to do. So it's those little things like that that can stop people that I just wanted to walk through. Even just talking about the power of YouTube and how big it is. We talk a little bit about gear and things like that. But the whole goal is that by the time you got through the course, you knew everything you needed to start a YouTube channel and upload videos. Now, there's a lot more to it than that, but that's not what the course was about. It
but I
was just
love that
about
it was
getting you
like,
started.
yeah, it was the meat and potatoes, like the
Yeah.
Cliffs Notes. For those of you who remember Cliffs Notes, I don't
Yeah.
even think they have those anymore. I was looking for them for my son. Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
But
No,
I
no, no,
don't
no, no.
think I don't think they exist anymore because now they just go on Google. So
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, there you go. Yeah, Google's the new Cliff Notes, right?
I
Yeah.
went to Barnes and Noble. I'm like, where's the Cliff Notes section? They're like, ma'am, we don't have those anymore.
There's an AI for that. Yeah.
I love it. All right. So I want to hear all about this book. You just came out with it this
Yeah.
week, right? Or last week, very, very recently.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
2 weeks
Live
ago. Yeah.
streaming made easy. Let's hear
Yep.
it.
Yep. In fact, I just happen to have a copy of it.
I love it. It's amazing. Congratulations. Tell us about this book.
And I got to say this. It was probably one of those moments I should have videotaped, but I ordered a proof copy. I've learned more about self-publishing than I never knew exist. There's those things that you don't know what you don't know. There was really a lot I didn't know, and several people have helped me. Ross Brand, who Live Streaming Universe, who actually wrote the forward, he was a huge help. A guy named Dale Roberts, um, and some other guys too that just really I learned from. And YouTube was my next biggest friend. I'd go search something, but when I opened my proof copy, so you can get a proof copy and it has a cross here, not for sale or whatever. Nicole, it was like I was a kid at Christmas opening the gift I always wanted. It was like,
Yeah, that's so
because
exciting.
when you do video, I mean, you're not really holding anything. Yeah, you can hold the camera and the mic, but you're uploading digital files to the universe web
Right.
thing, and I can't, I can hold the device I'm watching the video on. I've never held anything I've created
That's the
like
real
this.
deal.
Okay, so there's the goofy part of me. So the question was, how did I do this? Was that it? Sorry,
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
what's in it? Tell me about it. What's in
so
that book? Obviously, it's about live streaming, but
yeah.
let's walk
So
through
I
the
cover
Cliff Notes.
everything from there's a little bit about how big live streaming is and the
Mhm.
history of it. I get into everything from gear to platforms to maybe what you could live stream about, how to make money on it, even though I never guarantee, these will make money, but here's some ideas. I even talk about how to interview people because I thought, well, if what if somebody is like wanting to do an interview show, let me put that together. There's also recommendations in there as well. So I'm literally like the title says, I tried to make it easy that you could read this maybe in a day, or if you're like me, it might take longer because I'm a slow reader. But it's not that big. That where you would know enough, like the subtitle is a step by step guide to going live. That's it. That it would take you through what do I need to know to get ready to go live. A lot of advice in there and opportunities, some pro tips as well. And it's pulled from my experience as live streaming for quite a while. So, I started with the outline. What did I want to say in the book? And from there, I started kind of like, okay, I'll do this and this, and I'll move this around. And then I just started writing because I knew if I didn't start writing from the outline, I wouldn't get it out there.
Mhm.
And I really just put the pedal to the metal for a while. And I did use a couple of freelancers to format the book. That was a whole nother thing I had to figure out that I didn't know
Mhm.
existed. And then I actually designed the cover in Canva. So,
Beautiful.
so this
See?
is my
Just
design.
go to his Canva link, everyone.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, go to my Canva link. And but then I did hire a freelancer to actually format that because
Mhm.
there's a different format for paperback versus audio versus ebook. So it's available in ebook and paperback now. The next step will be doing an audio book on it.
Mm. Now,
And
would that be on Audible? Like, how do you release
yes,
that? Audible.
yeah,
Okay.
that'll be on Audible. Yeah, from what my research shows, there's only a couple of places to do that, and if people may say, "No, you're wrong. There's more," but like for example, right now it's only available on Amazon, but
Mhm.
in pretty soon it'll be available at Barnes and Noble and some other places too. I chose to go self-publish because again, it's kind of that independent spirit. I wanted to do that. I also didn't want to pay, try and go to a publisher and have them say, "Well, here's what's wrong with the book." And it's like, look, I know it's not perfect, but I'm good with it, right? So I wanted to self-publish. So I decided to go with Amazon. It's called KDP, which stands actually for Kindle Direct Publishing, but you can do ebook, print, and print being paperback, hardback, whatever. Because I thought, Amazon is huge. There's a lot of reasons to be there as well. So what I'll do next, the next part of this will be an audiobook. And then will be an online course. Because if you think about it, the course is written.
Yeah.
So that's my plans for world domination.
That is so amazing. But
Yeah.
all of us and everyone listening, we all have the same common thread of like that creativity. We want the freedom and flexibility. We want to have several streams of income. And it's like if you're not doing a lot of these things, you're getting left behind because there's
Yeah.
no one perfect stream. It just does not exist. Even the millionaires that you follow on social media, they're like, you need 10 streams. Like,
Yeah.
there is
Oh
no
yeah.
way that you can make the money that you want with one stream. So this is
Yeah.
so valuable that you shared all of the ways that we can earn a really good income doing what we love to do, which is being creative. So kudos to you. Congratulations on the book.
Thank you.
Where can everyone find you?
So kevincolby.com, that's my website. That's probably if you want to talk more about, whatever, having me on your show or working together or something like that, that would be great. My YouTube channel is my name at Kevin Colby, and those would probably be the best places. You can always go to Amazon and look at that too. So
And
and
all of
can I throw this
Kevin's,
out too?
yes, please
You know,
do.
so consider this. If somebody goes, well, what if nobody buys your book? Well, I can guarantee you if I don't write it and put it out there, nobody's going to buy it. But beyond that, I do the best I can and we'll see what happens. So, I would say don't let those what ifs, the bad what ifs, hold you back
Mhm.
from chasing something and trying something because otherwise, how do you know? Put
How
your
do you
gifts out
know?
there.
And not only that, now you have that credibility and the authority because now you are a published author.
I
And did you
know.
say bestseller? Can we talk about
Yeah,
that
it
for
is.
a second?
Yeah, so it's really weird. I published it on a Wednesday. Kept refreshing,
Yeah,
refreshing,
yeah.
and it got published. And then the next day, the paperback, and the ebook were number 1 and 2 in new releases, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then the
Wow.
next day, 2 days later, Ross messages me and goes, "Dude, you're a best-selling author." And I said, "What are you talking about?" Number one in a certain category. And it was number one for like 3 days. And I think now it's like on that category, it's number 2 or 3. But yeah,
That is
it's
amazing.
like it's
Amazing.
never,
Congratulations. See,
ever thought about it.
you never thought it would happen, but it's happening. It's all happening. That line from Almost Famous, I always say, that's all happening from Penny Lane.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Kevin, thank you so much for coming to chat with me. I so appreciate you
No,
and
thank you
everything
so
you have.
much for having me. You're a rock star. I appreciate it.
A big thank you to Kevin Kolbe for sharing his valuable insights and experiences with us today, and thank you for listening. As you listen, remember that your journey to financial success starts with passion and a willingness to learn. Be sure to subscribe to the Lights, Camera, Cash podcast and leave us a review if you enjoyed this episode. Follow us on social media at TV Hosting Academy for updates on upcoming episodes and exclusive content. Until next time, happy creating.